Hello everybody. Namaste. This is me Vidya Nepali. So I'd like to welcome you back to Kiss Nepal. Today I'm going to interpret all five poems of grade 10. That's important for SE examination. And without making any delay, let's get started with the first poem. That is, Did I Miss Anything? So please cut it. Poem. So it's about the classroom situation. There, the poet Tom Wayman himself is a teacher, and he's telling her he's narrating the poem. The speaker is teacher, and the teacher is talking about two perspectives, right? The student perspective and the teacher perspective. So here I'll be telling you how does the teacher consider the student and how does the student consider the classroom teaching. So here we'll be dealing about this, and so let's get started with the stanzas. Let's cut it. So let's get started with the first poem. Did I miss anything? So the title itself requires an answer. Did I miss anything? And this question is asked by the student. Did I miss anything? Who was absent in the class? The absent student asked this question the next day when he came in the class. So here, nothing. When we realized you weren't here, we sat with our hands folded on our decks in silence for full 2 hours. So here the teacher is replying the student when one of the students, one of the absent students asks the question, "Did I miss anything?" So nothing. The teacher is just teasing the students, mocking the students, and saying that the class missed nothing or the student missed nothing when he was not present or when he was absent in the class. When we realized you weren't here, we sat with our hands folded. The teacher as well as the students. So the teacher is mockingly telling the student that they sat with their hands folded for the 2 hours in silence. राइट सो कहिलेकाहीँ विद्यार्थीहरूलाई लाग्छ म क्लासमा आउँदा मैले खासै मिस गरिनँ भन्ने अर्थमा चाहिँ स्टुडेन्टलाई त्यस्तो लाग्यो होला द टिचर थट द्याट द स्टुडेन्ट टुक दिस थिङ इन दिस वे सो द टिचर हेज composed or the poet has composed this poem in this way. And the next thing, so the first stanza, this is the just perception of the student. This is the question asked by the student, right? And the teacher is telling the things from the student point of view. The next stanza, the second stanza, everything I gave an exam worth 40% of the grade for this term and assign some reading due today on which I'm about to hand a quiz worth 50%, right? So the teacher is saying that the classroom was everything or you missed everything that we did in the class or that we completed the things the day before or yesterday where you were not present there, right? So टिचरले चाहिँ हामीले केही काम गर्यौँ जब तिमी एब्सेन्ट थियौ हामीले चाहिँ 40% यो ग्रेडको 40% चाहिँ पढ्यौँ इक्जामको लागि र केही रिडिङ असाइनमेन्ट मैले असाइन गरेको छु भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ द टिचर इज टकिङ हियर अगेन द थर्ड स्टेन्जा नथिङ none of the content of this course has value or meaning. So the student is telling this or the teacher thinks that the student is thinking in this way, right? Take as many days off as you like. Any activities we undertake as a class, I assure you will not matter either to you or me and are without purpose. So this is the thing that the student think that the classroom teaching is of less significant thing, right? So classroom teaching भनेको चाहिँ लेस भ्यालुएबल र लेस सिग्निफिकेन्ट थिङ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ स्टुडेन्टलाई लाग्छ र स्टुडेन्ट चाहिँ एब्सेन्ट हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ दिस स्टेन्जा इज टकिङ अबाउट. And moving towards the next stanza, fourth stanza, everything. A few minutes after we began last time, a shaft of light, a ray of light suddenly descended, an angel or other heavenly being appeared and revealed to us what each man or woman or man must do to attain divine wisdom. Divine wisdom means godly wisdom and knowledge in this life and the hereafter. This is the last time the class we meet before we disperse to bring the good news to all people on the earth. So it talks how the teacher or how the students they did something in the class. So here exactly the angel, okay, and angel didn't come. Angel आउने कुरा त भएन, परि आउने कुरा त भएन, but त्यो क्लासरुममा पढेको कुरा चाहिँ मान्छेले के गर्न हुन्छ के गर्न हुन्न भन्ने कुरा अथवा मान्छेलाई चाहिँ डिभाइन विजडम राइट टु गेट नलेज टु गेट विजडम वी हेभ टु बी देयर इन द क्लासरुमको सिग्निफिकेन्सको कुरा चाहिँ यो स्टेन्जाले गरेको हुन्छ सो नथिङ अगेन दिस सेङ नथिङ वेन यु आर नट प्रेजेन्ट जस्ट द टिचर इज saying that when you are not present, how could something significant occur, right? Everything contained in this classroom is a microcosm of human experience. So तिमी एब्सेन्ट हुँदा चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ सिग्निफिकेन्ट कसरी चाहिँ अथवा कसरी भ्यालुएबल थिङहरू गर्न सकिन्छ एभ्रिथिङ कन्टेन इन द क्लासरुम इज अ माइक्रोजम अफ ह्युमन एक्सपिरियन्स सो माइक्रोजम मिन्स टाइनी थिङ्स स्मल थिङ्स राइट of human experience assembled for you to query and examine and ponder right क्लासरुममा पनि जति पनि गरिन्छ सानो सानो कुराहरू सानो सानो एक्सपिरियन्स that we learn from the classroom that's important thing for our life and this is not only place such an opportunity has been gathered right so this is only the place where we get such opportunity to get ourselves examine and ponder the knowledge and the experience so but it was one place and you weren't here the teacher is saying that but it was one place it was an opportunity it was a platform right but you weren't here तर तिमी चाहिँ छुट्यो यसमा right so overall this poem talks about the significance of classroom teaching को मूल्य अथवा त्यसको भ्यालुको कुरा गरिएको छ यसमा and the poet has put forward the two ideas, 2 point of view, teacher's point of view and student's point of view, right? So teacher's point of view बाट हेर्दा classroom teaching important छ स्टुडेन्ट चाहिँ क्लासमा अभाइलेबल हुनुपर्छ क्लासमा प्रेजेन्ट हुनुपर्छ भन्ने खालको कुरा आउँछ र स्टुडेन्ट पोइन्ट अफ भ्यूबाट हेर्दाखेरि क्लासरुम टिचिङ चाहिँ सिग्निफिकेन्ट छैन इम्पोर्टेन्ट छैन त्यही भएर चाहिँ स्टुडेन्टहरू चाहिँ बाहिर क्लास बङ्क गर्ने अथवा चाहिँ स्कुल नजाने जस्तो गरिरहेको चाहिँ यसबाट देखिन्छ So let's talk about the key points. Teachers' perceptions versus students' perception, right? So as we just talked about that, relevance of classroom education. So to what extent is classroom teaching important, significant? And next is responsibility of a child towards his or her education. A child should be responsible for his or her education himself or herself. Right so अरू कसैले रेस्पोन्सिबल हुने हैन आफैले so next thing is sarcasm or mocking nothing versus everything right so student says nothing and teacher is saying everything right so here the teacher is mocking the student the teacher is teaching the student and the tone of the poem is mocking tone right because everything the teacher is saying is indirect thing but he means to say the different thing right so the poet gives answer to the students who repeatedly ask the question if they missed anything right and this is how the teacher is mocking his student the absent student who thought that he didn't miss anything so अब यसमा पढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ most of the time the students are confused that whether the teacher was absent or student was absent in the class so it's clear obvious that one of the students was absent and the teacher and other students they were in the class and this is all about the poem so this is all about the poem and for from this poem you might be asked who was missing the class or who missed the class what is the tone of the poem right and what did the angel say or just like this right and what does nothing and everything represent in the poem yeah so this is all about did I miss anything moving towards the road not taken right the road not taken you see the road not taken is composed by Robert Frost yeah Robert Frost is a great poet and in this poem he talks about the two alternatives as it can be seen in the picture here right so two alternatives in our life we face or we confront हाम्रो जीवनमा धेरै जसो चाहिँ हामीसँग धेरै विकल्पहरू हुन्छन् त्यो विकल्पमा चाहिँ we have to be able to decide what way to take which way to travel which alternative is best for us is the best thing for us right so we have to talk about these things so two roads diverged in a yellow wood let's get started with this Two roads diverged in yellow wood, just like this. You can see diverged. And sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So the poet stood here and he just observed the way because he couldn't decide which way to travel immediately. इमिडिएटली चाहिँ पोइटले म कुन बाटो ट्राभल गर्ने भन्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ डिसाइड गर्न नसकेको भएर ही स्टुड देयर एन्ड जस्ट थट अबाउट द्याट बिकज ही वाज इन डिलेमा देयर सो this is the thing that the people most of the time, right, हाम्रो जीवनमा चाहिँ we face many options, we get many options, we get many choices, and we have to be able to think about, or we have to be able to decide the correct choice. Then took the other just as fear, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Here the poet is saying that he couldn't decide which way to travel, right, and he stood there for a long time, and he wanted to take the one which was grassy. So this means the grassy road is less traveled, right? So grassy भनेको चाहिँ घाँस भएको अथवा चाहिँ this was not so clear. If the road is grassy, we mean to say that, or we know that that road is the way is less traveled, and the poet also he chose that way to travel, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same, but it was looking somehow same, and the poet was not sure whether he was having correct decision or not. And both that morning equally lay in lips no step had trodden black, right, and on the both ways the leaves they hadn't trodden black means they hadn't gone black, or it means no one had walked over the leaves or walked over the way there. So, oh, I kept the fast for another day. So he kept the fast for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. This means I kept fast for another way. Here means the first means he traveled or other people had traveled, right, and yet knowing how way leads on to way. He didn't have any idea how is the way, how long is it, what are the problems while traveling there, right? But he had no idea about those things. ती कुराहरूलाई ख्यालै नगरिकन he just chose the next way. I doubted if I should ever come back. के मैले कहिले फर्केर आउनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ उसले चाहिँ he even didn't think that, right? So त्यो चाहिँ स्योर नहुँदा हुँदै पनि he tried to choose the next way, the first way नगरिकन next way. यहाँ second way, first way भन्दा पनि here the poet is talking about the less traveled way and less traveled way, right? And I shall be last stanza, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere edges and edges hands, right? मैले यो कुरा चाहिँ पछिसम्म पनि राइट भनिरहनु पर्ने हुनसक्छ because I may or may not travel the things properly, or I may not reach my destination. म यदि पुगिन भने मलाई यसले पछिसम्म पनि पछुतो लाग्न सक्छ. The poet is saying these things, right? But he is still determined to travel his way that he has decided to travel. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the same. I said I took the one least traveled by. So here it's telling us, right? So here this least travel means he chose to travel the least traveled road, and that has made all the difference. At last, the poet is changing his tone there. That decision has made all the difference. जुन decision चाहिँ यो another way लाई चाहिँ another way travel नगरेर less traveled way travel गर्ने decision चाहिँ पोएटले बनाएको छ नि, that has made all the difference. Difference here means change in our life, progress in our life. So this is just simple thing, right? Just to diverge roads, and the poet chose one less traveled way, less traveled road, right? So this means in our life also we have many problems, and while we have many problems we should try to do the new things with
ह्याभिङ रिक्स इन आवर लाइफ. रिक्स लिएपछि केही चेन्ज अथवा केही नयाँ काम गर्न सकिन्छ. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ हामीले टाइममा चाहिँ डिसाइड गर्न सक्नुपर्छ. वी सुड ट्राई टु डु द न्यू थिङ्स इन आवर लाइफ. द्याट्स अल अबाउट द पोएम. एन्ड we have key points here, how to confront choices in our life, right? कोही मान्छे चाहिँ अब चोइसदेखि डराउने र पुरानो म जेमा छु त्यही ठिक छु. They don't want to have any change in their life. Decision making capacity, we should have that. Risk leads to newness. Travel versus less travel. A travel road र लेस ट्राभल रोड. हाम्रो एक्सपिरियन्स र नोभिस अथवा हामी जुन कुरामा चाहिँ अनुभवी छौँ ठिक छ, नयाँ कुरा गर्न सिक्नुपर्छ अथवा वी सुड ट्राई टु गेट सम न्यू थिङ इन आवर लाइफ. That's the theme of the poem. So and from this question, from this lesson, you will be asked for the things like what is the theme of the poem, right? What does the two ways a diverse road represent? Just like this you will be asked.
Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. Please don't forget to subscribe it and share it to your friends for the information. Thank you. Have a nice time.